So I have a review of a fantasy romance book that steps outside of the norm of the usual medieval Europe settings for most of the fantasy books that at least I've been reading. And it is more focused and inspired by Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian folklore. So here we have Legends of Shimrah by Nadazar, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this author is also going to be donating the proceeds to this book over the next year to the victims of Gaza. So first off, this is a very intense world-building high fantasy. Comes with a very long list glossary, which was extremely helpful when starting off this book. Honestly, it did take me a bit to get into it, but I'm so happy I kind of stuck with it because once everything kind of comes together, it is an incredibly beautiful and poetic story. So in this world, this is a land that has pretty much always seen peace until the new queen is coronated and her two older brothers, who feel that they've been snubbed, even though they're not very nice people, kind of go off and start a war with the rest of the king. The rest of the story fast forwards to, I guess you can call it present day, and it follows mostly our Lord Protector, his second command, and the newest baby princess. It is also good to note that kind of the way the ages go within this story, our lovely new baby princess, her body ages so much faster and her mind matures faster. So you kind of get to see her development quite quickly throughout this book. It is very much kind of a coming of age story between these three characters as they kind of learn a lot more about their world, their magic, their impact on the war, and this prophecy that they are pretty much kind of responsible to fulfill. Like I said, the language is so beautiful and poetic, like much different than a lot of the other fantasy books that I have been reading. And you really get a sense of the relationship and the respect between the three characters. And especially our second command, he's hiding something. You kind of get a little bit more about it during the end of the book, but I really feel that there's so much more to his story, and I can't wait for how things further develop in the rest of the book. So even though most of the book is driven around these three characters and the relationship with each other and their own self-discovery, the last 20% is extremely intense with this war building. And oh my God, there was especially this one scene that I was like pretty much on the verge of like crying and breaking down in, which, come on, we're all sadists. We love a good cry when we read. There's also a book too, and I think it's coming out in February, which I'm definitely looking forward to reading because the way this book ended, I need to see what happens next. So if you're looking for an intense, unique fantasy romance and want to support a wonderful cause, pick this up, dive into this world, and happy reading.